Hi, for those of you who don't know, I'm Julie, the founder of the Single Mums Business Network, and it's really great in the current climate to be able to continue to do these interviews. It's a lovely way for me and for the people I interview to connect with you all. So today I've asked Rebecca if she would mind doing an interview with me, because Rebecca is the county coordinator for Herefordshire, Worcestershire even. But more importantly, Rebecca has such a incredible background. She's so qualified in so many areas, a qualified solicitor being one of those. And she's transitioned from trying to find that work-life balance and then finding that being self-employed is the way that she had to go and able to be there as much as she wanted to be there for her children. So what I want to do is I want to let Rebecca introduce herself to you and explain a little bit about her professional history and her expertise. She's trained in so many areas so that you can get a picture of who she is. And then she can, I think we'll just go with the flow, but basically I think what I'd like to do, Rebecca, is if you explain who you are and what areas you've trained in and what you're doing now, but also it's really important for us to speak to the women who are still practicing solicitors working for a firm who may be struggling with that work-life balance. And I apologise to the people who really hate that term right now. So over to you.
Thanks, Julie. Yeah, so I'm Rebecca. I am currently self-employed as a rapid transformational therapist and coach. But as Julie said, I am a solicitor and qualified into a big corporate law firm. And everything was fine until I became a mum, and then it just got very tricky. Long hours of taking my daughter out of bed, taking her to childcare, picking her up back in her pajamas, and it was very hard. I cried a lot. So I sort of moved from a big corporate firm to smaller firms, taking a huge salary drop, which I'm sure lots of people will be able to identify with. And then really just felt very unfulfilled, didn't feel like I was getting the quality of work that I used to get. It still wasn't really getting that much of a work-life balance. So I decided at the end of last year to go completely self-employed as a therapist and coach. So I work generally with women and entrepreneurs or business owners or people looking to make that leap. And we really tap into the subconscious limiting beliefs that are holding people back, and then work on a cognitive conscious basis to help put those steps in place to help somebody achieve the goals that they want to achieve.
Yeah, it's so important. And before you explain what your background is with that, I just want to pick up on a couple of things that you said. One is that obviously you had to take a salary drop. Now, this is one of the big things that I'm arguing through the SMBN, is that it's a financial penalty where it simply should not be. You should have maintained your salary and simply been able to work pro rata. So the same skill set, the same role, but pro rata, so that you could be the hands-on mum that we all need to be, really. So thanks for sharing that, and it's something that needs to be addressed, and it needs to be addressed very quickly. And it's very relevant now because we're in a society where people have taken salary drops. The knock-on effect of that is your financial comfort gets less and less and less. And when it comes to a crisis like this, there isn't a huge pot to carry you over difficult times. So this is the effect of being unable to put health before the need to bring in an income. So with that, I will let you continue. And if the power of the mind is so incredibly powerful, and I appreciate and respect what you're doing. It's the only way I was able to turn my life around is through a slightly different kind of hypnotherapy, but it comes from the core same beliefs of knowing how powerful it is that you send this message to your brain. And if you let people know the relevant backgrounds of history there, that would be really good.
Yeah, so just to touch on your point about the sort of salary drop and everything, and I think this is a really important thing to actually talk about, is when I had my return to work interview as a solicitor after my first child, I was told by a senior partner of a corporate leading law firm, actually, you know, why would we give the best work to you if you want to leave at 4:45 in the evening to get home from nursery when your male peer is sat there till 8 o'clock at night? Why would we wait till the next morning? And this was only 8 years ago, 7 years ago, because she was 1 when I went back to work. So, you know, it's something that I'm really passionate about, is creating change, particularly in these more male-dominated industries. Things are changing, but not fast enough, and I still think that there are limitations placed on women once they become moms, particularly if you become a single parent, because everything is on you. There is no backup if you're needing to get home from nursery. So, you know, one of my goals is to work with senior people within particularly professional services industries, because I do think they are lagging a little bit behind the more creative industries. They are much more flexible, much more able to accommodate working from home, flexible working, whereas there is still very much a mentality in the professional services about presenteeism and being on your desk. So yeah, I think there's lots of shifts in terms of corporate world, but from me, you know, I from a mindset perspective, I had a sort of toxic marriage, which obviously, you know, the two of us together were toxic, which led to me being is that the dog? You know, it leaves you feeling very unworthy, undeserving, and actually for me that journey started. I'm a qualified yoga teacher as well, which is where my journey, the healing journey, started, was to tap into the grounding and my sense of me, and that self-love, self-compassion, that self-worth. Becoming a single parent, you know, I felt like a complete failure initially, and I would hide away, didn't want to tell anybody. And then actually over time that changed from a place of feeling like a failure to actually, I feel like a rock star. You know, the stuff that I do and the things I've overcome and the life that I still give my children and the messages I send to them, I think I'm amazing. But from a really positive, you know, not an egotistical place. And I have a real respect for people in this situation. But that it all starts with you, and that's, you know, looking at you, looking at how you can change, looking at your responses, you know, having a real awareness, creating space to choose how you're going to react rather than leaping into habitual responses, and actually really tapping into your sense of security in yourself, being your own best friend, having that best relationship with yourself. Yeah. I remember very early on in my single parent journey, I spoke to a lady and I said, you know, I just feel like I want to be in a relationship, and she said, be in a relationship with yourself. And it was such a light bulb moment for me. And I thought, okay, yeah, how do I want to be treated in my next relationship? And I'm going to treat myself that way. And I think it's an ongoing thing as women, as mums. We put children first, particularly if we're running businesses. We put our businesses first. They're our babies as well. And it's an ongoing learning journey for me, being able to say, actually, I need some time. I'm going to rest. I need to regroup. I need some time out. Mm-hmm. And I think, you know, I think all women can identify with that. But it's an ongoing journey. We have to do it.
And you know, it is so powerful. And you know, I've been through a very, very similar journey, and that's why I think I'm so keen. You know, we share this because we want to help women. There's no secret. There really isn't any secret thing going on here. There's nothing underhand. It's like when you realise that you're your own best friends and you can be really kind to yourself, and you can go and buy yourself a bunch of flowers, or, I mean, I've even gone to bed with a cafetiere of coffee so that I can wake up with a coffee in bed. You know, it wasn't hot, but I need a better
with iced coffee.
A flask even. But you know, there are so many things you can do, and like you said, your business is your baby. You can just stop if you're feeling overwhelmed. You think, do you know what? It will all wait. you know, I've done it. I did it last week. I just shut everything down. Loads
Yeah.
to do. I went and soaked in a bath for an hour. You know, you've got to be so kind to yourself. But what we know, so many women still, and men too,
Yeah.
mainly I think because women are still, you know, the homemakers, and obviously the single mums left alone with their children. Some of them have got great partners. I'm very careful not to tar everybody with the same brush. But, you know, it's so important for us to help them and to get that message across to them that they can really turn things around and have a happy and fulfilled life as a single woman, even in adversity, even when struggling. It's not like you have to wait for everything to be okay to be happy. You can learn to be happy along the journey, and it's not this isn't happy, this is happy.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a difference. And so in terms of helping people, I know you've also trained in, didn't you do a psychology degree or something?
Yeah, so I did a psychology degree and then moved on to a doctorate in psychology in conjunction with the hospital. Well, yeah, it's one of my biggest kind of, you know, sadnesses, if you like. I didn't finish the doctorate because the hospital that I was doing it in conjunction with, they were working on the technical aspect, and one of their people ran off to another hospital and ran with the project faster than we were moving with it. So that one was pulled, all the funding was pulled, and I was actually offered another PhD, another doctorate, but it was in a subject that was kind of quite dry. My initial one was looking at the psychological impact of chemotherapy users monitoring their own toxicity levels. So it was, you know, I was on the cancer wards, I was with the women, you know, it was a real heart and soul. I threw myself into it. And after 12 months, it was pulled, and I was offered a sort of evidence-based practice type doctorate, and I just couldn't do it at that time. What I should have done is ask for more time to make a decision, but the pressure was on to make a quick decision, and I just felt drained. So I didn't proceed with that. And you know, it's one of those things that I do think, oh, what would have happened? But life is a journey. You know, I applied to become a solicitor. I got through. You know, it's been a great experience. That has served a purpose for me. It's given me great, you know, commercial understanding, great understanding of businesses. You know, it was, even though it was really tough when I had my daughter and then my son, you know, that juggling and the hours and everything, it still gave me an income that enabled me to leave a marriage that I wasn't happy in. You know, without that, it would have been more difficult for me. From a financial perspective, security is a really important thing for me. So being able to buy a home for me and the kids, you know, it's nothing fancy, it's just a home, but I have something to leave them as a single mom.
That's incredible, and you've got so much to be proud of, and this is something that so many people don't see, the work that in the background, the intelligence, the hard work, how much you've been through, how much you've qualified in, and obviously the doctorate, okay, it didn't go to completion, but you did the work. You have the experience, you have the knowledge. We put too much emphasis sometimes on the certificate at the end of the day. You know, what matters is all the work you've done, all the experience and knowledge that you have. And the fact that you're now managing to combine all of those skills are crucial in helping you to succeed in what you're doing now. I'm so sorry about the dog.
Don't worry.
It's almost acceptable now that guy has had his child in the background with the wife. Okay,
it's fine.
Working from home, get used to it.
I think we're all going to be having a lot of that next week. If the school's closed, we're all going to have chaos in the background. So
I mean, that's going to be terrible. I'm trying to get some videos done this week because when Kaylin comes in,
it'll be fine. We're all just going to have to roll with it. We're all just going to have to step into our powerful feminine energy and go with the flow, aren't we?
So much powerful feminine energy.
Yeah.
And you know, one of the things that I say to people is you know, often men are sometimes disgruntled that this is a female-only network, and they say, "What about the single dads?" And people don't have that same question if we talk about coming together for a knit and natter. They completely accept that as a thing that women can do together. when you put business in the mix, they feel like it's a place they belong. But actually what it is essentially is women bonding over something they have in common. So whether that's business, knitting, swimming, squash, it really doesn't matter. What matters is that women are rebonding. And, you know, we've missed that in our society for so long. We've been in our own four walls with our own stresses and our own concerns. You know, I say it time and time again, other countries, they've got it right. The tribes are working together. They support each other, they talk to each other. Britain's way behind with that, but we're getting it back. So our networking together, you know, we're going to be doing it again physically in person a few months down the line, I hope. And but you know, we still need to talk like this. We still need to talk on the phone. A lot of people don't know how to do that.
Absolutely.
Talking is so powerful.
It is, and it's a real need for women. You know, women really need to talk, and I think you know, there are some great men out there doing some work for them, but actually a lot of, as I explain to men who want to join my Facebook group, you know, there are a lot of single mums in there, or women that have had trauma in the background, and often that was from a male, from a male. I'm not saying that women don't do it to men and that men aren't sufferers of it as well, but actually there are sensitive things that people talk about, and we need to be mindful of that. That actually we're all on a different, our healing journey is a trajectory, and we're all somewhere different. And you know, whereas, you know, we might be here and we've done all of the work, somebody might be here and be a little bit more vulnerable, and we just need that really safe female space. And as single mums, we have unique challenges. You know, we are different to even just other business mums. We do have different challenges. Our, as you write about, our income, our salary, our profits, this is what we've got. You know, this, it's not for extra money. It is what runs the household, often without any support from the other parents, financially or time-wise. So we have unique challenges, and I think we need this safe space to be able to just to be with other women that just get it.
Yeah, that's right. And it's not, and it's a very positive network, isn't it? We don't complain. We just share very useful, you know, support. Because we all know how lucky we are. We all love the fact that we're mums. And we all love our children, and we know we're very lucky. And but you know, there are some things that we need to discuss and support each other with. And particularly, obviously, the business exposure is one of those crucial things. Because you know, when you're managing the entire household out of that one single budget, you really haven't got thousands and thousands of pounds to splash on PR budget. So that's what this is for. It's raising exposure. Speaking of which, we're coming to the end of the interview. So this is what's important, specifically for the purpose of women now who are stuck, whether they're single, married, or anything else, who would really benefit from your support through helping them to understand what they can do and how they can take control of this. Where do they go? Website, Facebook, what's the thing?
Yeah, so my website is rebeccaingram.co.uk, or you can just email me at rebecca@rebeccaingram.co.uk. My Facebook group is Transformation and Success Hub, or just connect with me on Facebook.
I don't know why I wrote this down. I know all this. I just it.
I can send it to you anyway.
Okay, so that's brilliant. So we'll do that. And in terms of accessibility and affordability, we are in a fragile economic climate. You know, is there? I'm very good at promoting payment plans. That's not an option for everybody. Could you just give women an idea of what they could potentially need to find, so that it's a little bit transparent out there on whether or not you'd be able to help them, you know, depending on their circumstance? So
my 1-to-1 3-month package is £1,500. So that's all I've been offering pretty much recently. I do a 28-day package, which is £600. But what I have done in this, I do accept payment plans, and what I say to ladies is, if you want to work with me and it's going to take you 12 months to save that money, pay me whatever you can afford every month, and when it's done, we start the program. There's no, I don't have any set, you know, I need this amount. I can be completely flexible. But what I have done, in light of the fact that we're in these really uncertain times right now, I've created two much lower program. So basically a 1 hour deep dive. So it's a hypnosis session where we get to the root cause of whatever is holding you back. We reframe it, we transform it, you get a personalized recording, and that's £149. And then I'm also running a confidence and money mindset 28-day program for £99. That is starting Monday, and I've got 9 spaces left for that. So
that's great. I mean, it's important, and I have no embarrassment of talking about these things, and I have to do it because I know a lot of people are embarrassed. They see a price bracket and they think that's out of my reach, I won't do it. The only way I managed to start in the beginning is because I needed a professional picture. I needed to feel confident in myself as a businesswoman. I couldn't afford it. So I spoke to the photographer and I said, can I please send you £10 a week for the next 15 weeks? And when that's paid, you can give me your professional £150 photo shoot. And she did it, and that was brilliant. There was no credits. I knew in 3 months, I then prepared the background work, and I thought, right, in 3 months, I'll have my picture and I can go, boom, I'm here. That was 6 years ago or something like that now. And because of that, because of you've got to be confident enough sometimes to ask.
Yeah, and it does take a bit of courage, and actually there's no judgment, you know. My journey has not been smooth. When I first left my husband, I then found out I was pregnant, and almost the next day, I was made redundant from my role as a solicitor. So I sat here in this new house that I just bought and had to think and I was so sick, so I couldn't go and get another job, and I had to, you know, I've been in that place thinking, how am I going to feed everybody and keep a roof? So I get it, you know, there is no judgment, there's no payment plans, there's no credit, there's no interest. It's just pay whatever you can pay until we're there, and then we do it.
Yeah, but you still need paying. Everybody still needs paying. And I wouldn't have asked this photographer to do it for me for free.
No.
It's her business and she needs paying. All we did is find a way to make it accessible.
Yes.
So I like that there's these different options there, and I like that there's a saving plan there too for people to just know it's coming. Because even when you know something's coming, you immediately benefit from knowing that this way you're feeling now isn't your forever. Because you think, do you know what? I'm on my way to something better, and that the immediate effect of that on your well-being and mental is so powerful. It's insane.
Yeah, it is. And as soon as I get any sort of payment from a client, they get a relaxation recording, so they can start to just listen to that, get used to my voice. And also then I start to issue my sort of forms for them to fill in, and all of this is it's the process. It starts them thinking, it starts to change things, so it's really powerful even from that first payment. But payment is important for commitment and value. People value things more. Yeah,
absolutely. And that's what I also love about our closed Facebook group with the Single Mums Business Network. Only members benefit from that, of course. You know, it would be rude to expect anybody to provide a platform like that for free, really. So we do that. Everybody chips in, everybody supports each other, and it's wonderful. So I'm very, very pleased that we've had a chance to speak about this. I really am. I think it's important for people to get to know you better. Like I said, you're so beautiful, and sometimes people do not associate beauty with intelligence. They genuinely struggle with that. So it's very important for people to see the Rebecca that I've met and that I know. So I'm going to end this recording, and I'm going to share this across our social media networks and on the website. And good luck with everything. And like we said earlier, we need to make sure that there's plenty of food in the cupboard for the children should we fall sick, because we haven't got a partner to help them if we're in bed.
Yeah.
Okay, so bye everyone, and thanks for watching. And where's the stop recording button? There we are. Bye.
Thank you.